It's my senior year at Miami High School, the Wave Runners, playing defensive back for the first time ever. Let's see if I can earn a college scholarship. In week one, we'd take a quick start, and I'd make a huge stop on third down to force fourth down. Coach also told me that my speed would get me a job as the return man for the year. That first return was not good, but I had no blocking. Our linebacker would fail to cover the flat here, but I'd come up and lay a huge hit and bail him out and keep him from getting the first down. A few plays later, a breakdown on the defense would lead to a big gain, but I'd make this touchdown-saving tackle. We were up 13-0, and I really wanted to hype up the team, and I would with this sack, and I'd celebrate with the D-line and force another punt. I would get pretty loose on this return and take it about 18 yards back before finally getting tackled along the sideline. Our defense would continue to dominate, not allowing a single score, and force a turnover on downs here to seal the win for our team 13-0 in week one. My performance in week one would draw me some attention from some small schools, but ones that I'm not really too interested in, so I need to improve my performance in week two. But I would do exactly the opposite on the first play of the game, where I would get sealed off by the receiver, the running back would make a big run. Luckily, I'd use my speed to track him down to save the touchdown. After saving the touchdown, we'd hold him here on third down as I get trucked, but he forgets to catch the ball. I'd then get the return, and I'd take it back a good ways as I'd hit the outside corner and turn it upfield. I think I'm going to get my first one, but I'd just get caught at the end for a 42-yard return. Already down 3, and we're backed up against the goal line again. I'd come up and make a big hit on the run to stop the touchdown, but unfortunately I'd score on the next play, leading to this kickoff return. My blocker wouldn't hold the block, and I'd get caught on the edge, but I'd get another chance here on the return, and I would take it back about 12 yards before getting caught by the defense. The defensive struggle would continue, and I'd get another chance to return a punt, but my blocking would not be all so great, and I'd only get about 12 yards on this return. I was playing lazy coverage here, but luckily I was able to recover, keep my guy from getting the first down after the catch. Our team would still allow another score. I'd get a chance to return one. I'd hit the edge and turn it up, and just as I thought I was going to catch it, I'd get caught by the kicker and only get 41 yards on this return. I was getting frustrated at the lack of production from our offense, so I figured I'd take it out of the quarterback on this hit, where I'd sack him, get up, and tell everybody to shut their damn mouth. We would hold him to another punt, and I'd get a chance at a return. I'd try to hit the edge, but unfortunately I'd just run out of room and eventually get caught on the sideline. Once again, we were backed up against the goal line, and I tried to come up and make a hit on the quarterback, but he'd completely undress me with that move, and I'd miss him as he scores another touchdown to go up 24-0. I'd get another chance to return a ball, and I'd hit the edge and cut up field and get a really long return before finally getting caught at the 40-yard line. And our offense still wouldn't do anything about it, so I came in and figured I'd take out on the running back this time, tripped him up for a tackle for a loss. I'd end the game with 6 total tackles, 2 for a loss, and draw some more attention from some other small schools, see what happens in week 3. We would get the opening kickoff in week 3, but unfortunately my team would forget how to block, and I'd get absolutely annihilated after a 10-yard return. We'd finally hold them here, and I'd get a chance to return a punt later in the first. The blocking wasn't that great, though, and I'd only get 10 yards. But on this punt, I'd fumble, pick it up, and still manage to skirt up the field for about a 15-yard return. I'd get caught playing lazy coverage here, giving up the first down that would eventually lead to a field goal for their team, putting me back on the field for this return here, where I would try to hit the edge, but again, no blocking allowed for it, leading me to have to go up the middle. I'd recognize this was a run and come up and make a stop here on second down, forcing third down, but we'd still find ourselves backed up, but I would find a way to come up, hit the quarterback, and keep him from getting in the end zone. They'd still find a way to score and get the ball back once again. I read this option to perfection, but unfortunately just tripped the guy instead of hitting him, and he got the first down. I blew up this run play in the backfield, and then I would come and blow this play up in the hole as well. Unfortunately, we still couldn't get a stop to give our offense the ball back, and they would take a knee to win the game after our offense would put up only 6 points. Still, only small schools wanted me, so I knew this next game I'd have to make a big impact, and I would here on the first drive when I'd come up, stuff this run right in the hole for a tackle. I'd continue to get involved with the run game, throwing a little extra on this hit that wasn't needed. I'd then get a little blitz happy here, trying to stop the run and some more, and he'd throw a quick pass to my guy who would then take off and take this one all the way to the house, causing me to look like a complete idiot on that read. I would make up for it on this return as I take it back 40 yards and set up my offense with really great field position to hopefully go tie the game. Unfortunately, they wouldn't do anything with the good field position. We'd find ourselves getting backed up again to the goal line, giving up another quick score, going down 14-0 early in the second quarter. To add insult to injury, I'd get absolutely nothing on this return as nobody blocked for me. Our offense would continue to sputter, but our defense started shoring things up. I'd get this big tackle to force a 3rd and 17, which we'd hold them on, and I'd get a chance to return another punt. That wouldn't matter, though, because there was absolutely no blocking on that punt. However, our offense would get the score we needed, but I'd then get burned on this long touchdown pass, leading to a 21-7 lead over our team. Their quarterback just had my number this game, and as he goes over the top once again for another big touchdown, I was getting burned all day, and their team would come away with the 28-7 victory. And I'd draw some attention from some other schools like UCF, which made me a little excited, as well as Georgia Tech. My big hitting was drawing attention from some big programs, and I had a chance to really stand out here in this game, and I would start off with a big 32-yard return up the sideline. I'd get a chance early to get another return on this punt, and I'd take it for about 15 yards up the way. Even with good starting field position, neither of our teams would be able to get on the board, and I'd find myself returning another punt. Even though both of our defenses were battling, I had yet to get on the stat sheet defensively. This play, however, I would get a tackle on a run up the middle. It would still result in a first down, though, but I'd come up and stuff this run, laying a big hit in the backfield, and just go absolutely nuts with my team. Our defense would force another punt, and I'd get loose with some great blocking, and it looks like I'm going to take it to the house for my first touchdown when I'm just caught at the 15-yard line. I would find myself getting on the stat sheet once again with this big hit on a short pass play. I was playing a little bit of loose coverage, giving them the underneath and coming up and just laying the body each time. With how good our defense was playing, I was getting plenty of chances to return punts, and I was making the most of these opportunities as I'd get loose again and take it all the way down to the 35-yard line. Our offense wouldn't do anything with this great field position. We'd have to continue to play great defense, which we would, forcing another punt. Not the greatest blocking, but still a decent return on this one. We'd ultimately get the 14-0 win when it was all said and done. I'd draw a little bit more interest from some other smaller schools. I would almost take this opening kickoff back to the house, but I'd get clumsy and too excited and stumble over my own feet at the 5-yard line. Our offense would cash in with a touchdown from the 5-yard line after that great return. And I'd come up and break up this pass, forcing a 4th down, and I would get another chance to return the ball. And man, was I feeling it as a return man as I'd get loose for 32 yards on this one. Our defense continued to keep holding tough, and I'd get a lot of chances to return the football. And I'd almost break each of these loose, but just wouldn't quite do it. Then on my 3rd attempt, I'd finally take this one all the way back to the house for the touchdown on the punt return, only to find out that there was a flag on the play for clipping. So this one would be coming back, and I still wouldn't have my first return of the season. I'd get another chance here to return it, but the blocking just wasn't the same, and I'd get tackled after about a 15-yard return. We were proven today why we had one of the best defenses in the state of Florida, as I stopped this guy right before the first down. We'd force another 3rd and long, and I'd come up for a big hit, only to get trucked by this guy, but luckily my teammates were able to bring him down. I'd then put on display my pass rush ability for all the scouts in the stands to see with that sack. Then I'd get one final return here before the game ends. And while this would end up being a great return, I still wouldn't end up in the end zone, leaving me hunting for that first return touchdown of the year. We'd ultimately win this one 21-7. With how great I was returning the ball, it's no surprise that my return earned play of the game, and I'd draw some more attention from some other schools. I think some of them liking me for my return ability as well as my coverage ability. Due to our defense being one of the top defenses in the state, I was drawing so much attention, just not from the 3 schools I really wanted in Miami, Colorado, or Florida. I knew I'd really have to show out this game and make some big plays, and I'd do just that on the opening kickoff, taking this one all the way down to the 20-yard line before finally getting tackled. Unfortunately, my offense wouldn't come away with any points, though, so I'd have to step up on defense, force this 4th and inches, leading to another chance to return a punt. However, I'd struggled to catch this one cleanly, but I'd still manage to scamper up the field for about a 13-yard return. The well was running dry on these returns as my blocking just wasn't there, and I'd only get about 8 yards. I'd come up big here and get a big sack on the QB, though, forcing a 2nd and long. Both our defenses would continue to battle it out. We'd managed to go up 6-0, and on a 3rd and 3, I'd come up and make a smash-mouth play to force a 4th and 2, and this absolutely hyped up our defense. We knew we were carrying our team at this time, and I knew I had to make a big return here. However, as we've seen this game, the blocking just hasn't been there on the return. We'd force another fourth down, to which they'd punt with 2 minutes left, which ended up being a huge mistake as I'd return this one about 40 yards to set our team up with great position. But we still would not manage to score. We'd give them the ball back one last time on 4th and inches. I'd come up big with a huge sack on the quarterback, earning us the victory and advancing to the Florida State Finals. I would earn play of the game after swatting that guy out of my way and just planting the quarterback to ensure we won. My performance would earn me player of the game and a surprise offer from Georgia as we headed into the state championship game. I was anticipating a run play on this one, and he'd catch me biting down hard as he'd hit his receiver along the sideline for a big play. But it wouldn't matter. We'd force a fumble on defense, and our middle linebacker would scoop in score in the state championship game to give us the early 7-0 lead over Sunrise High School. I would read this jet sweep perfectly, hold him up just enough for my defensive end to make the big tackle for a loss, forcing a 4th down, and a big punt return from your boy on this one, going about 40 to 50 yards, almost to the house. I'd get another chance to return a punt, but the block just wouldn't be as great as I'd like on this one, and I'd get hit after about a 15-yard return. Our defense continued to prove why we were best in the state, and I'd get another chance to return a punt, but for some reason our guys were just forgetting how to block on these returns. Except for this one, I'd get some good blocking, hit the outside and cut it back, almost break this one loose, but got tackled at about the 50. I'd make my presence felt on defense with this big hit to stop the run. I'd then stick my guy pretty well. I'd allow him to catch it, but I wouldn't let him get a single yard more after that catch, forcing a 3rd and 7. That I'd unfortunately lose my man on this natural screen, but that wouldn't matter because on the next 3rd down, we'd force a big fumble, pinning them back for another 4th down where they'd have to punt me the ball again, and I'd get loose for another return and almost break this one free, but come up just a little bit short as I made the wrong play and cut back right into the tackle. My offense would capitalize on the good field position, leading to another score to go up 17-0. After muffing this punt, I'd manage to still get upfield for about 15 yards on this return. I'd continue to make my presence known on defense. I shut this run down for a loss up the middle, and I just couldn't believe the game I was having in this state championship. We were really trying to hold on to this shutout, but unfortunately we'd give up points on this 4th and goal at the end of the game. It wouldn't matter because our defensive end would make a huge stop on 4th down, giving the ball back to our offense so we could take a knee and sell off into the sunset as the Florida State football champions. Now I had a decision to make. Where would I take my talents? Would I pick somewhere where I have to fight for a starting job but has a lot of prestige, or would I go somewhere where I'm guaranteed playing time? Coach Prime guaranteed me a starting position, so I'm going to Colorado.